Welcome back. Did you know that there was an Art Odyssey here?
I did know because my girlfriends are planning to go on it. I got an email the other day about let's go on the Art Odyssey thing on the day we all get together and have lunch. They want to Art Odyssey it. So I knew it was. I had a sneak peek. It's here locally in town in Mountain Home, correct?
It is.
Well, we could refer to R. Scott and Neilla Flanagin, who are right here with us, since they appear to know more about it than the two of us, Daniel.
Yep, sure. Let's talk about it. How did it? What was the concept? Who brought up the concept? And
well, what Neilla tells a story about how he got started better than I do. So
yeah,
okay.
That's because I use more words than he does in my hands when I talk. But it all came about when actually at Donald W. Reynolds' library, the day it was dedicated, and we were one of the artists. We're the artists that did the mosaic river in the floor of the library. And that afternoon we had a presentation to show how we did that. And some people stopped by and said, "This is just fascinating. Why can't we see some art studios and how artists work and so forth in this area? There are other places in the state that do it." So we said, well, we've been wondering that for years. So we'll just see what we can come up with. So we talked to Gwen Kayette at the library, the librarian, and Lori Kaufman, who was the interior designer there. And they thought it was a good idea. They talked to Eddie Majesty, the director of the Mountain Home Chamber of Commerce, and he brought in Mark Elliott from the Baxter Bulletin, the advertising. We had a meeting, and we decided, let's see if there are artists here, because of course there's not a well-known art community in Mountain Home, but we hope to change that. So that's how it got started, and we had a meeting, and then the three women who had asked, could we do this, told us they would help us any way they could. So once we saw it looked like it would go, we called them. That was Gabe Covius, Betty Bogart, and Cheryl Dobbs, who live in the Bull Shows area. So they came in on the meeting. We talked to Glenda McNair, retired art teacher from the high school, because we thought we probably needed somebody with a background in art to help us. And poof, here we are, our second annual the Art Odyssey.
Oh, how nice. So you did that gorgeous floor at the library.
Yes, we did.
It is
We did that.
stunning.
That was something special for us, because we were contacted by the art committee for the library and didn't know exactly for sure what we were going to do for them, but they wanted us to do something, and we did too. And it turned out to be this wonderful river.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And gosh, what a great building that is. And I've had so many people tell me that, you know, it seems funny, but every time somebody comes to visit us, we always want to take them to the library. So it's just one of those things.
It's definitely a showplace here in town. It's a beautiful building and all that kind of stuff. But now, when is this Art Odyssey? Is it a one-day event?
No, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday and Saturday, it's from 10 until 5, and Sunday, 12 to 5.
Okay.
This is the second annual.
Right,
last year, it was just only a 2-day event.
Will there be a map so that the people will go actually to the artist studios, right?
Yes,
well,
that's right. And
I'll hold this up.
Hold that up, okay.
I don't know if you can get a close-up of this or not, but anyway, this was in the Baxter Bulletin. It came out on Wednesday, and this is our magazine that contains the pictures of the artists, the bios of each of the artists, and information on how to get to their studios. Last year, all we had was a little map that was printed and distributed, and this year here we have a beautiful magazine, thanks to some wonderful advertisers that the Bulletin has put this together for us. So there are 10,000 of these things printed out around whoever the customers are for the Baxter Bulletin, and some of them can be picked up at the library itself. But in the center, there's a map.
Yeah. So how many artists are on the tour? How many total? I mean, I don't. It's going to take me all 3 days to see all of them.
Well, I really think you would be cheating yourself if you didn't slow down
and take my time
and take your time and enjoy the beautiful scenery we have here in this part of the world. But there are 32 artists and 29 studios. There are 3 husband and wife teams. We're one of them. and they're two of the husband's-wife teams. So we have 29 studios that people can go visit, and the farthest one from here is down at a little place called Everton. It's in southwest Marion County.
I know Everton well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we go over to Jordan Road, and then up to Gamaliel, the far reaches of Gamaliel, and then around here in Mountain Home, and then north of Flippin. So we've covered quite an area anyway. But I don't think you should try to make all of them in one day. I mean, it would be almost impossible to do that.
Well, now how many different types of art? Because what we have here, this is stained glass. Is that what is this?
Well, it's a mosaic.
A mosaic,
done
a
with
tile
stained
mosaic.
glass.
Okay.
Let you hold that.
Yeah.
I think we can cut to your camera and get a pretty good close-up of it.
Here comes Gilbert. Gil's
right, he's going to
Okay.
zoom in on it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll hold it right
So
there.
what?
Gil.
So you obviously have glass work. Do you have jewelry making, pottery? What all are we going to
yes,
see?
jewelry, pottery. We have a silversmith. We have a blacksmith with about 46 years experience blacksmithing, who does very excellent decorative work. We have oil artists. We have acrylics. We have watercolor. We have stained glass artists. My gosh, I know I'm leaving somebody out.
We have a man who makes life-size dinosaurs.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yes, out of foam. It's just fascinating.
I think I've seen
We've
him in the
talked to him,
paper.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very interesting. We have a wildlife artist who can either make whatever you catch or kill look amazing, or can do it from scratch.
Yeah, he can create
create
wonderful
it.
wildlife work. So he's taken that to a higher level than you would expect it to be.
Now you brought a presentation. What's in the presentation we're going to see?
Well, this is a presentation that was put together by Kim Crochiner at the library, and we could not function without the help of the library staff. They do such wonderful work out there. But it's a PowerPoint that she put together that could be shown at civic clubs, and it shows a little bit about all the artists, and I thought it would be a wonderful idea if we could just kind of go through that while we're here. And this is Jane Flowers at Cotter. She does oils, but she does other things also, and she's been an artist for many, many years. She likes to present things from an aerial type view. So it's fascinating work to see her. And we have been to all these studios ourselves, and we visit with every artist.
Okay.
Liz Gamlin is a clay artist. She's right off of the square, on the square in Mountain Home, and she's been doing clay work for many, many years. Bonnie Heenan lives close to Monkey Run, but she does a lot of oil, watercolor, and pencil also. She has studied in Europe and is very, very talented painter. So she was on the tour last year, and she's back again this year.
And Joyce Hitch is here in town, up close to the lab. She does oils, acrylic, watercolor. She does lots of different things, and she currently has begun using the palettes instead of a brush because she likes the effect. Of course, artists evolve and change what their favorite medium is at any time. So her work and her studio, which is inside of her home, is just a beautiful place to see. And if you have ever been interested in any of that sort of stuff, kind of give you some idea of how you could set up your own.
And Karen Jones lives down off of 341, Push Mountain Road, and she's been painting for quite some time. She really started doing horses because she loves horses and has done that, but now she also will do sketches of pets and that sort of thing. She's all set up and ready to go. Jared Kaufman, graduate here at Mountain Home High School, and a graduate of the Savannah College of Art and Design. Is one of our furniture designers, and
That's neat.
I was going to say, that is wild.
he has recently
It
opened
is.
up his studio down down around Buford,
Okay.
on Buford Road.
He also did some of the tables in the library, in
Yeah.
the Donald W. Reynolds Library.
Yeah.
And there's the dinosaur guy, Rich Cluck. That's in his yard, and
And these are full size, authentic dinosaurs. And I talked to him not long ago, and I remember him saying that as a kid he was always fascinated by dinosaurs and hoped that someday he would have one. And so he figured out a way to make them, and they're fabulous. I hope people go by and look at those
Okay.
things.
Lori Collins works in silver now. She has always been a detail artist, and she's got some things she paints on feathers and just so intricate work. But recently she got into the silver, and she just uses unique stones. And when she finds one somewhere, she doesn't work with it until, as she says, it tells her story, the story that it wants to be, what it wants to be, and then
Okay.
she makes little notes and puts with it until she gets it all together, and then she makes the silver, and it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful work.
Steve Landrum does wonderful work with stained glass. He's been doing that for 30-something years, and he's has done some very traditional stained glass for church windows here in Yellville, and I think most recently the Arcana Church. But he also does a unique thing. He does three-dimensional objects with stained glass.
And Irene Linehan, she will be showing now at the Beaded Path down off the square, because she recently purchased that, but just her work will be shown. She gives classes. She does wonderful beadwork, very unusual and intricate, as you can see, beadwork there in her jewelry, and uses precious metals also with that.
Jack Arnold is a retired art teacher here from Mountain Home, and Jack has done sculpture work, and he paints with oils and also acrylics, and he has a studio out on West Road called Wild Haw Studio. And there's John Linehan, is the husband of Irene, and John does mostly cedar, and he does what's called live edge cedar, where he creates furniture and other art objects, but he leaves the edge of the wood as it is. He doesn't run through a planer or anything. It's just live edge.
And just a thing about the Linehans also, they're in Cotter, and his studio there is actually inside of his house, which is the old Methodist Church building. And so not only do you get to see his wonderful work, but you will get to see what the inside of that church live there, but his workshop is downstairs in the basement. So it's a real fascinating thing to see.
We're running real tight on time right now.
Okay.
So how many more did you have?
Not many, but
Okay.
we can go through them a little
There's
quite
quite a
quickly.
few.
little
Okay.
faster.
We
Deb-
don't have to talk about
Yeah,
everyone.
Deborah Lively has been doing art in this area for a long time, and she does watercolor and pastels. So Christy Marshand, another glass artist, is moved here from Louisiana. She's the one up around Gamelia.
Okay.
Bruce Nickel is new to art, and but he's doing a beautiful job. He and his wife, I think the next one is Nancy Nickel. They're another husband and wife team, and they're new to it, but they do beautiful work.
Carolyn Oldham has her studio is a wonderful place to see, and it's out close to Norfolk Lake, but she does mixed media stuff that is just, it just makes your heart sing. It's just fun stuff.
This is Bob Patrick from Everton. So some of his forged work, and there's his wife, Mary Patrick. She's a fiber artist as well. She does wool, and also she's into mosaics as well. Kevin Powell is the sister of Christy, an unusual name for a woman, but anyway, her name is Kevin. She lives also in Gamelia. Jerry Preator is a retired art director from Better Homes and Gardens, and he does watercolor. He has his own studio in Lakeview. John Krieger is our wildlife artist, and he has a business there in Gassville. And Jeannie Roth is also in Gamelia. She does mainly flowers, but she likes to do that. Ron Ufkus does a beautiful job of wood turning, and some of the most intricate wood turning work that you've ever seen. He'll have his studio open and ready to go.
And Annie Wooster is another clay artist, lives south of Flippin. Yelville. Terry Zarati, wonderful. She sees what she paints in her dreams, and they just come to her, and her work is, you can't miss it, even though she's way down at the end of Ray Valley.
And Ann Chris, photographer, lives out north of Flippin. So we've got a wonderful collection of artists.
Variety.
Well, if people just walked in, we're talking about the, what is it, the Art Odyssey, and it's actually a tour of studios?
It's a tour of studios, and we define the studio as any place that an artist does their work.
Okay.
And where do they need to pick up these brochures and maps?
These brochures that were in the Baxter Bulletin, I think there are some copies that can be picked up at the library, and probably I think First National Bank.
Okay. Cost?
We'll have some in the Chamber of Commerce. There's no cost.
No cost.
So it's
Okay,
18th,
good.
You don't need a
19th,
ticket
and
to
20th.
ride, and
Just go check it out.
Okay.
just go check it out and have a great time.
And what were the times again?
Friday, Saturday, 10 till 5.
10 to 5.
Sunday, 12 till 5.
12 to 5. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. Thanks so much for being here.
Well,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
guys. We
having us.
Hope
appreciate
you
it very
fill
much.
it up. Hope there's a lot of activity that weekend.
We're planning on it.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we have, let's see.
Ron
are we
Shire
gonna
is next.
talk to Ron now? Okay.
Ron, we're going to talk to Ron for a little bit, and then Daddy and Jimmy Joe.
Daddy.
Daddy. Pops is what I like to call him.
Pops. Okay.
Pops and Jimmy Joe.
Stay with us.